Ladies and gentlemen, Nananom Nime Name, I have the singular honor and pleasure to declare Accra World Book Capital 2023 duly launched.
The city of Accra in itself is a personality. It's vibrant, it's full of color, it's full of sound, full of people, music, culture. It is impossible to walk through the city and not feel the pulse of the city. It was apt, therefore, that this was the chosen city in 2023 for World Book Capital. And it was important for us that the events of the year reflect this vibrancy, this pulse, and this buoyancy.
We took it beyond Accra and we took it like a World Cup, so to speak, because Ghana, and for that matter Accra, beams with culture, dynamic culture. From the arts, which are the expressions of our culture, from the visual arts, from the performing and literary arts, we showcase what we have.
The theme of our World Book Capital was reading to connect minds for social transformation. And in that, we aim to take all of Accra with us, from the illiterate to the out-of-school kids, the marginalized, lifelong learning to older people, women in the markets, and then obviously the students, the young voices.
Yeah, nikani mommy, no preden hehiaji ebagbele wodwomumi. Ne ha wole non poteni esa ake wofio. Ni beba bawe for kake ka okane ni no komeni mini ake nibi ni anwate wo wolomi. Moko ni kasemu moko ne eleni nkete hi ekefe wo wolomi wo ni shenhe ni wo win title na ke title bahawo ye wo mangana mi.
The Accra World Book Capital, our thematic concerns revolved around the various people. For young people, for instance, we looked at quizzes, at debates, at writing competitions, trying to unearth writing talent. And also because creativity is important, we let them work with poets, with artists to bring out their creative selves.
Reading is critical for young debaters because it helps them, or it enables them to acquire more vocabulary. It has helped them to research. It has also helped them to come out of their shelves. It has helped them to express themselves. Looking at some of them, I didn't even know they had such potentials.
Before you get students to write, they need to go through a series of processes that would involve them to do research, to think about what they want to write and all those things. So what we have just done actually complements what is in the Common Core curriculum and to also give the participating students the opportunity to test their research skills, their critical thinking skills, their reading skills, and ultimately their speaking skills when they are actually on stage.
Reading is important for young people because it fosters open-mindedness and you get to know most of the things around you, like what is going on around you. And also, most of the things that we read, we take moral lessons from it.
The reading, the poetry, the artwork, it goes to support what the teachers do in the schools in informal ways. And I think that is one of the things that the Accra World Book Capital will be able to achieve.
I go fiha. Penny become penny sem. My father to one and sem. Nyakenya unyamin sem. Shadows will find their places on the wall. Poetry is fantastic for education. Poetry is used in mediation. People don't pay attention to it, but by being a poet, it simply gives you a certain kind of encyclopedic knowledge that the average might not have. It gives you a certain command over the language that the average might not have.
A society that frowns on its artists and poets will die in no time. Poetry, as a subset of literature, acts as both an art and a science, a social science at that. If you really want to know about the history of Ghana, go to our literature. The economic history is there, the social political history is there, Anything you want to know, even before Ghana became Ghana, Gold Coast times, you find it in the literature.
We live in a country where we ooze creativity, yeah? From our kente fabrics, our jewelry, our swag, the way we carry ourselves, the traditional dances. You know, I could go on and on and on. So it is absolutely important that one, we start celebrating all the creativity and the problem-solving skills that are within our country. Now, it is only by doing that that we can move ourselves as a people forward. And who is going to do the moving? The young people. That is why old men like myself have to engage, and with all the other artists, engage with young people to give them a shoulder to stand on.
When it comes to the marginalized, as it were, the outliers, those you would normally not think of when you think about the book, it was important for us to reach the women in the market, for us to reach the Kayai. It was important for us to visit the prisons, give them that gift of a book and show them what a book can do for them in those solitary times.
The purpose of the Capital Project was to reach the hard-to-reach people.
We believe that reading is supposed to be communal or societal. So we got the buy-in of all and sundry.
This activity coming to Ghana has been a blessing to Ghana, not just Accra, but also to other parts of the country. We have seen that young people are now taking up their pens to write down things that have been on their mind, and also not just writing, but also taking the steps to publish.
When I heard Accra is hosting the World Book Capital, I got so excited because it gives people like us the voice and the identity to write for the world to read one day, like Amatei do.
Because of the Accra World Book Capital, a lot more books are being published, many in the local languages, civil society organizations donating books, adopting schools and libraries and ensuring that there are always books there. We've got the government, MPs, ministers of state, members of parliament donating books and refurbishing libraries. The heritage of Ghana is so intrinsically woven into who we are and into our books. And it was important for us to include our heritage sites, these iconic buildings, in our work as a World Book Capital. So we had some of the events at the forts and castles. We ensure that books written about the history of the enslaved people were read and discussed.
To have Asha Fort come to life with the activities, the children had a tour of the fort, and then they had the workshop. We also had the Director General of UNESCO visits the fort during the launch of the Accra World Book Capital. This is what we seek to do in promoting our heritage sites, because we need to interact with the spaces, and the forts and castles present spaces for such interaction.
Even though the World Book Capital will be moving away from Accra, it's left a wonderful legacy here. I believe that there's a new intentionality about reading and about creating content around reading. And so we have a mission, we have a goal, we have a vision to ensure that we are creating content that children can enjoy, interact with, engage with, and to ensure that we are building a reading generation.
For the UNESCO family here in Ghana, this was a family affair. We may have rallied around the book, but for us, culture, our society, reading, information, education, all these different facets of UNESCO's work came together to ensure that we had a successful year all around the book, the written word.
For us, it's been a conscious approach, to instill this reading culture in people, especially school children.
Ni woni kasemo bakuna agbe obaya no lolo no kaneni chini ntane wo ma village ko ha World Book Capital ni obaya no ya jembe fe be no akwe no ni sane ofe e wo won kanyanya won wajenya ni won fa akamofiamo aya no lolo ne kaneni ni nyumo agbelegbe ha wo fe.